So credit is a necessary function of our society to do anything. So you need to be able to have efficient access to credit, which is other people's money.
So if you practice in the pack and you make mistakes, then when you ask your teacher, what I do wrong here, she could tell you, and you go and take the test and you won't make those same stupid mistakes. So rehearse, plan, rehearse. And once you plan and once you rehearse, you're going to go out, and the next step is to take that step and take action.
But technically, since you have access to other people's money, wouldn't that put you in debt?
It does. It does put you in debt. But there's a such thing as good debt and bad debt. So, and that was actually a great question.
Hi, my name is Dina from the All Stars Money Program. The All Stars Money Program is a great program. It teaches you about things you wouldn't learn in school. Two of the things I learned is assets and investments. When I grew up, I want to be a business owner, and the program helped me understand the things I have to go through to have my business.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. It is episode 4, and we are excited because the football season is underway. Man, we got a lot to talk about here on Dropping Dimes and Stats with DJ and Jax. Jax, my friend, how you doing, man? School is back in session for you, young man.
I'm doing good.
You're doing good? The summer is over, huh?
Yep.
You haven't even any regrets about your awesome summer being over and getting back to school?
Yes, I don't want to go practice.
I used to have that same feeling, Jax. I know what you mean, man. I used to hate going back to school that first week after having had amazing summertime playing ball and traveling and hanging out with my friends, and most importantly, there was no curfew or anything like that. Could get into bed anytime you wanted to, wake up when you want to. Now you got to get back into the routine, young man. So welcome to the adult world. So what grade have you started?
7th.
All right, man. 7th grade. I remember 7th grade was a great year for me, man. I had a lot of fun in 7th grade. Did a lot of great things. Had a great academic year. Had a great sports year. Had a great social year, man. 7th grade, man, was awesome. So you ought to lean into 7th grade. So that makes you in middle school, right?
Yep.
So the 7th, 8th grade, so that means you big man on campus. So you ought to be excited about that. So anyway, let's get right into it, Jax. We got so much to talk about, man. Where do we start at? I mean, so many great things in the sports world has happened since the last time you and I convened on this channel. What would you like to delve into first, my friend?
I guess since tomorrow's the first game.
That's right, baby. Football season is back. It's back. Them Cowboys versus the Eagles tomorrow. Thursday night football, and they even have Friday night football on YouTube.
Yep. A big game. Oh, not a big game. A big trade happened. And I knew he was going to get traded, just not to the team he got traded to. Micah Parsons, the former Dallas Cowboy, is now Green Bay Packer.
So,
and now the NFC North is definitely, easily the best division in the league.
Are you kidding me, man?
Yes. No, I'm not.
The NFC North is now the best division in football. No, man.
Who is it then?
It is the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals.
No.
That's the best one. He's not changing the table like Reggie White.
The Browns is in that division.
Well, okay. You got one stinker.
You got the
it.
Vikings, Lions, Packers, and Bears. They're all going 7-10 and higher.
Absolutely. But
They're
far
all
as the
going
toughest,
7-10 or
toughest,
higher.
the toughest division in all football, it's that it used to be the NFC North, but I don't think the NFC North is more competitive than the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yes, they had three teams for the first time go to the playoffs, but I think it's debatable because one thing is the competition and the rivalries have been equal in that Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and even the Browns have been competitive because they also beat the Ravens last year with Jameis Winston, if you don't remember. So, in terms of smash mouth football, the Bears weren't even competitive last year, if you think about it. But, that's a good argument. I think you're putting a lot more hype into the Mika Parsons chain. Who do you think got the best end of that trade in in exchange? Who do you think, did the Cowboys get a better deal or did the Packers get a better deal? We all know that Micah Parsons, he got the money that he was looking for, but I think he's gonna find it very lonely up in Green Bay because there's nothing to do in Green Bay. And when it gets rigid cold up in Green Bay, I know he's from Penn State, but there's no cold like Green Bay. Maybe Chicago, maybe close, but it is ice cold and it is destitute in Green Bay. There's nothing to do in Green Bay.
I think the Packers won the trade. I think the Cowboys would have won the trade if they could have swapped out Kenny Clark for Rashawn Gary, because Kenny Clark is 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would have been a better trade if the Cowboys would have got Rashawn Gary in the return.
I think, in all honesty, I think it's addition by subtraction. I think the Cowboys are going to be better off without Micah Parsons. And here's the reason why I think this is true. Because even though he's had, 12 sacks 4 years in a row, they've been pretty much empty sacks. It's like at the end of a blowout game and a person has to throw the ball all the time and they put up all these big numbers at the end of the game. They're all useless numbers when it counts. And the irony is, last year, that the last time they were in the playoffs, the year before, they got their butts kicked at home by Green Bay. And guess what? Micah Parsons was a no-show. He had no tackles, no sacks, nothing. And they just ran right at him. He was exposed. To me, Micah Parsons is like a exotic car. He's only able to look good and go one gear, and he doesn't really do anything that really matters, and his numbers are inflated. So for me, I believe that the Cowboys are actually going to be better off without him because he can't play the run. He doesn't impact the game when it matters the most. When they really need him to show up, he disappears all the time. So I think the Packers will benefit because they have another great defensive end on the other side of the ball. So that would actually help them be more effective. So I think in that regard, the trade really will be better for both squads. But I think Green Bay overpaid tremendously. There's no way I'm giving some dude that's not impacting the game when it matters the most 40 something $1 million a year. But just like anything, the market determines the overevaluation of a player, and whoever's up next, they're going to break the records because all of the TV money that the NFL gets from these corporate sponsorship contracts. So he just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I think for him, he was disappointed that he got traded, but he brought that on for himself when he laid his butt on that table during the game. That was total disrespect to the game, to the team in and of itself. So now we're going to see what's happened. So from a spectator standpoint, it's going to be a must-see TV game when the Packers play the Cowboys. I think the 4th game of the season for them at Dallas. So I think that's one of the benefits from a spectator standpoint. But far as a total value for the Cowboys, I think they got a lot in exchange. 2 first-round draft picks. They didn't have to drop $180 million on a player who's going to put up inflated stats where he's not going to do anything significant when the team really needs him. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens and see if he does take Green Bay to the Super Bowl. Green Bay has a good team. They have a great offensive team. They have a good defense. And I think he makes that bookend on the defense a lot better. So that's a push in the right direction because they're playing for right now. Green Bay has gone all in for right now. They're putting all their chips to the middle of the table and say, we're going after this chip right now with this young, warrior. And we believe that he can take us to the promised land. So I would say in that regard, on the surface, I think they both win. Financially, Dallas didn't have to drop all that money. They picked up a good interior defensive player because their problem has been stopping the run. They've been run over, they've been giving up 170, 200 yards a game over and over, and Micah never had any impact in that area. In order to win in this game, when you get out in front of somebody towards the end of the game, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, guess what you need to do? You need to
run the ball.
Run the ball to kill that clock. And that's one of the most important things. So by them getting a good Pro Bowler, couple of first-round draft picks, and replacing a defensive end is no big deal, given the fact that he didn't have impact when it really mattered. So other than that, what's your take on the other biggest story of the week, Arch Manning and Chapel Hill Bill? Which one you want to talk about first? Because they both laid an egg.
Texas had it. Texas definitely had it. Arch Manning, I think the farthest pass, like in the midway of the 3rd quarter, I heard the announcer say, the longest pass of the day for Arch Manning, 13 yards. Like, it was bad. He's not. Hopefully, it was just a fluke.
Well, think of it this way. The guy, just because the name on the back of his jersey, just like Sanders, he's coming to all this unnecessary overhype. And especially if you look at his resume, his personal resume from high school, he went to a little small private high school, and his last game that he played in, they got whooped. They got blown out in high school, in a small private high school, and he never played any major competition with 5-star players on it. And when he did, he got whooped in high school, right? He comes in to the league, and if he is the Heisman leading candidate and the projected #1 overall, ask yourself this question. Why has he not taken over the job prior to the beginning of this year? This is his 3rd campaign. Think about it. Tell me one 5-star player with all the hype that he's received that sat behind some marginal player for 2 years. Can you think of one? And now he comes out, the biggest game ever. He's all hyped. He's got a ton of NIL money. He's more hyped. He was more hyped than Shedeur Sanders. And he comes out and he looks godfully awful. His very first pass and very first play of the game, he short-armed a wide open receiver, and his mechanics looked terrible. Did you see that play? And then on the pick, man, that was like taking candy from a baby.
He just
He
threw it
locked
up.
in on his number one, and he basically told everybody, I'm throwing the ball over here, and he threw the ball late. He had a lot of reads that he didn't read properly. He had a lot of open receivers, and he looked godfully bad. And I was like, man, couldn't happen to a better person. Because one thing I can't stand is somebody coming in with all this hype, no resume, no stats, no championships. Think about it. How many times have you seen a five-star player not dominate in high school and not come out of high school without a state championship? Very rare, because they're so far and ahead of everybody else. It's like a man playing against little boys. So didn't win any championships. At least to Shador's credit in this regard, Shador went to a private school too, but Shador won championship. This kid didn't even win a championship at a basic private school here in Texas. But all of a sudden, he's the number one projected overall pick for 2026. He's the front runner and haven't played but 2 college football games in his life as the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I mean, you got to give me some more resume and some more food on my plate before I automatically start giving this guy the crown before he's done anything. And that's notorious in your generation, Jax. We all about that hype train. How about put up some numbers, make a name for yourself, earn it, and then get hype. Now, to his credit, he's not responsible for the hype. He's not going around like Shador was, talking about he's legendary. So, to his credit, he did not ask for the hype. The media created the hype machine for him. But he did take that NIL money, and he is on a lot of commercials. One thing I can tell you, Jax, down here in Texas, almost every time I turn on television, I see this kid on some commercial. But you can see the contradiction here is that a lot of the people, the pundits, they tried to downplay the egg that he laid. Now, I will say this. If that would have been Shador, man, they would be ripping him a new butt every minute of the day where he played. Because one thing they always talk about with Shador is, hey, man, every time he played a top-tier school, he stunk up the place. He played Oregon, stunk up the place. He played the playoff game, stunk up the place. And they talk about it. But notice this. The Arch Manning game was prime time for the game day. ESPN, all of them, everybody shows up. And all of the pundits and the advocates for Manning, they were pretty soft on him about his game. They wanted to highlight the one professional throw that he made across the hash mark and say, oh, that's a big boy play. Man, look at that arm talent he had. But they wanted to downplay the fact that he couldn't get any first downs. He underthrew a lot of plays, and his mechanics, Jax, looked terrible, man. I was surprised because I never saw him play, really. Having 2 Hall of Fame uncles, I was just surprised at that sidearm crap that he was throwing. Did you see his mechanics, how he was throwing the ball sidearm practically every throw? Did you notice that? He was short arming like an alligator arms. He was like this. And I'm saying, man, this kid is a Manning. He definitely had much time to practice with his uncles and his grandfather, Archie Manning, is legendary NFL football. They're football royalty. So I was just shocked by the lack of mechanics that he possessed and the inability just to make a basic read. So I believe that he's going to have a uninspired campaign because you step right out on the scene against Ohio State, which I told you they're not going to beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Very rarely does Ohio State lose to anybody at the Horseshoe.
Besides
Just
Michigan.
recently, yeah. Well, I was just about to say, let's be honest. Just recently, have Michigan beat Ohio State the last 3 years. Prior to that, Michigan was taking straight L's. No, it's not four in a row. It's not four in a
It is
row.
full. Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not four in a row. It's three. Shante Moore, one, and Jim Harbaugh, two. Look it up.
I
Ohio State,
I could do it.
Ohio State has owned Michigan prior to the last three games.
But we have more wins.
No, we don't have more wins against Ohio State. That's one of the main reasons why Ohio State, Michigan changed head coaches multiple times because winning against Ohio State is everything, even when you have a subpar season at both schools. And that's why they were shocked that Michigan won last year with Shante Moore. Michigan has only won three in a row. The championship campaign, the one prior to that, and the one surprisingly with Moore last year. Prior to that, Urban Meyer owned Michigan. They owned Michigan. Look up your stats.
I
Look
am.
up your look up your stats.
It says Michigan is holding the
No, I'm
lead
not talking about
against
the overall record. I'm talking about the past decade. Don't try to give me this overall stats for the first game they ever played in the history of college football. I'm talking about most recently in the 21st century. Ohio State has owned Michigan. Look at the record for Ohio State during Urban Meyer's regime, Day's regime versus Harbaugh, and I can't even remember who was the head coach of Michigan prior to Harbaugh who stunk up the place. I think it was Rich Rodriguez. Look at their records. It was abysmal. I believe Rich Rodriguez was the head coach, and then Brady Hoke was the head coach at the University of Michigan, and they were taking a butt whooping against Ohio State. An embarrassment. Look it up. Look it up, young man.
he's 7-0 against Michigan.
Who's what?
Urban Myers is 7-0 against Michigan.
Say it again.
I'm not saying that again.
What? 7-0. And that was in this century, my friend. So again, I'm a Michigan fan, but we're gonna keep it real here on this sports show. We've won the last three. Prior to that, we were
The
over.
last four. It's four.
Read them all for me.
Okay, I got you.
So put them up on the screen. You can share the screen. They haven't won four in a row.
(2021) Michigan 30, OSU 24. 2022 Michigan 42, OSU 27. 2023 Michigan 30, OSU 24. 2024 Michigan 13, OSU 10.
Okay, I stand corrected. Well, good stuff. all under Jim Harbaugh.
And
Plus,
Sharon.
Shante Moore got one. So they won 3 in a row under Harbaugh, and then they surprisingly won one under Shante Moore. Where are they playing this year? It's going to be interesting to see. Now,
In Michigan.
I tell you one thing, one kid that was better than advertised was that Bryce Underwood kid. Isn't that his name? Let's talk about it. Man, that kid looked lights out. Better than advertised. True freshman. Balling. Man, I got to tell you, Jax, I have never seen a quarterback at Michigan that great. Now, Elvis Gerback played at Michigan. We know Tom Brady played at Michigan, but honestly, Tom Brady was just
He wasn't that good in college.
he was decent at Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, decent at Michigan. But man, this kid, if Michigan has a defense like they normally have, they've never had a wide open gunslinger offense ever. This kid is a game changer. I mean, he really looked good and his mechanics looked great. I was most impressed when they had this 3rd and like forever. It was like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20. Typically, Michigan just hands off the ball, get ready to punt. Man, they said, no, we going downfield, young man. And that young stud, he stepped back in the pocket and threw a rope for the first down. Now, isn't it amazing? We haven't heard much about his spectacular performance as a true freshman.
I mean, I'll definitely give him credit, but also I am kind of worried because I don't know. I have no idea why we let New Mexico score 17 points. That was kind of scary for me, but our offense looks great, explosive. Bryce Underwood did look
And
good.
again, that's my point. When's the last time you've seen an explosive Wolverines offense? The Wolverines is ground and pound, ground and pound. That's what they're notorious for, ground and pound. So I'm not really concerned about New Mexico putting up a couple of, points on the board. They lost at the end of the day. This is not Northern Illinois knocking off Notre Dame. With that said, man, what were some of the best college football games for you this past weekend? We know what the number one game was, but what was some of the games you were excited about in reference to the college football game? Week 1, man, was exciting. It was some upsets in that as well.
I knew Alabama was not that good. I knew it. They're good. They're a top 25 team. It's just they're super overrated for this season. Me personally, I think they could be top 10, but not top 7.
I think we ought to give credit to where credit is due and talk about how Florida State came out there and put it on them. You're talking about a same Florida State team that went from undefeated 2 years ago to last year won what, 2 games? 2 and 13?
2 and 10. 2 and 10.
And they turn around and first game of the year, you got Alabama and your job on the line, and they come out kicking butt.
What's Florida State's QB name? Because I remember
Castellino.
Yeah, Castellanos.
Tony Castellanos. And guess what? He talked big game.
Yeah,
People
he was talking a lot, and then he
trying to
backed
clown
him
him.
up.
And he
He
came
was
out,
like,
he had the greatest quote. He said, hey, ain't no Nick Saban over there no more.
they can't stop me.
Can't stop me. And they were like, oh, you talking that stuff. And what did he do? He backed it up like Muhammad Ali, like the greatest. I had never heard of the kid, but he made a great point. Hey, I don't look across them white lines and see Nick Saban over there coaching. So I know you're not the Alabama of old and nothing you can do to stop me. And what did he do? He came out, put a can of whoop butt on him. He put it on him. You can't tell me that his team is energized, because there's nothing better than having a leader as your quarterback taking you into battle and telling you we're going to get the job done and getting the job done. Now think about that. O-line is going to have his back. That D-line is going to have his back, because he just showed you what he's about and why they brought him to Florida State and knocked down the big bad wolf in Alabama. That was impressive. You know what, another game that was impressive as well?
LSU and Clemson.
There you go. Talk to me, Jax. Because you know what? Before you say something, what's his name? What's the head coach name? Debo? What's his name? Clemson. I don't like him. What's the head coach's name of Clemson? He always talking stuff and always have like this slave mentality, the way he
I don't
talks and
know.
treats. So, but
I personally thought that Clemson, when the first college football rankings came out and they had Clemson at 1, I'm glad they changed that immediately. Because Clemson, to me,
Dabo. His name is Dabo Sweeney.
Clemson isn't a top 3 college football team.
Well, they had preliminary Clemson predicting that they possibly could run the table and go undefeated. They look right past LSU. And you know what? I'm not even a Brian Kelly fan, who used to be the head coach at Notre Dame, because he's another. Dabo Sweeney and Brian Kelly, they remind me of that old guard of head coaches who have these young black players think that they're their father figure, and I'm tired of that. And they really only in a position of head coach just off the color of their skin, because they're not doing anything spectacular with underperforming or lower quality talent. They have the selection of the best of the best. And you know what? I can coach championships with the 5-star players that they get, that they don't even have to recruit heavily for, because everybody wants to go to Clemson in the South. Everybody wants to go to LSU. Those are Power 5 schools, and those are football factories. When you think about college football as a young prospect, there's only 3 to 4 teams that are always on top of your list, regardless if you want to go there or not. Would you agree? I'm always going to think about Ohio State. I'm always going to think about Alabama. I'm always going to think about LSU. And I'm always going to think about Clemson. So they don't even have to really recruit hard as the other competitors have to do. But now in this NIL world, they got to go get it, because they got to pay them players. But prior to that, Jax, just by default, they could have multiple 5-star players on their roster at the QB, at the corner position, at the defensive end, at the O-line, at the running back, and they would have 5-star players sitting behind other 5-star players, waiting and biding their time just to get on the playing field. And that's one of the benefits that Alabama has always had under Nick Saban. And see, Nick Saban, he think he's slick. He got out because he knew he wasn't going to be able to dominate college football no more in the era of the NIL. because he can't tell these kids what to do and he doesn't have power over them anymore. See that power, Jax, of you as a head coach telling the kid you can't play, and if you transfer, you got to sit out for a year. That's gone. With the transfer portal and the NIL money, and you can play right away, these head coaches have no power over these kids anymore. And now true coaching is coming to the forefront because now it's a parity, Jax, because every top team in the country that has a cash full of money can go out there and pay for the best players. So I was so excited to see Dabo lose, and I wasn't really thrilled about Brian Kelly at the helm of LSU, but I was so happy to see them take that L. What was the game of the week, though, for you?
For me, it was Notre Dame and Miami. That was a good game. It was, I think, in the third quarter, 7-7. And then the final was 27-24 Miami.
Yeah, man, that was a game that lived up and exceeded the hype. And what a better way for it to end the week on Monday night, on Labor Day, in the brightest lights. And Notre Dame, they had a chance to win that game. So it gave you everything, and it also reminded me, which they also done a sports documentary on 30 for 30, which back in the day when Miami was the powerhouse that it used to be and Notre Dame was up and coming, they had coined that series the Catholics versus the Convicts. Now that's before your time, young man. So it made me think about that rivalry, how they depicted Miami as these criminal players from the hood versus these, clean cut players from the, Catholic school. And you had everybody on the sidelines, all the former players, all that good stuff. So it made for great television. And the action on both sides of the ball did not disappoint. So for Miami, I think in addition to their win, they won a lot of recruits. Seeing them come out on the big screen and playing some great football. But the other biggest story, which I was so happy to see as well, was Bill Belichick getting his butt whooped. Whoop, whoop.
I seen this thing that TCU posted. It said, Bill Belichick, 6 Super Bowl rings, 0 wins versus TCU, and 0 winning percentage in college.
Well, you know what? Here's the irony of this, Jax. Here's a man that was a no-frills head coach at New England, where he was adamant about do your job. The name on the back of the jersey is not more important than the name on the front of the jersey. No distractions. He was so strict with all the players when he coached the Patriots. He was a control freak. And to see him out there just clowning the buffoonery. Here's the main thing that struck a chord with me, Jax. The simple fact that he has this young girl that he's dating that's old enough to be his granddaughter. She's out on the field talking to him on the field. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So I got to believe that this man is senile. There's no way in Hades that she should have been out on that field in any shape, size, or form. I mean, it looked like a comedy show. Then another thing that was exposed, This nepotism. My goodness. His son stinks up the joint as a defensive coordinator. Then you have Lombardi as your general manager. All this nepotism and old cronyism, hire all your friends and family. Man, I was so happy to see him get whooped. Embarrassment. And you know what the funny thing about it? You had all the stars out. Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, Randy Moss, Mia Hamm, all the legendary people, Roy Williams, all the Hall of Famers for North Carolina.
Just to
And he
lose by
goes out there.
34 points.
I'm gonna tell you. Here, I want you to watch this movie. It reminds me of this movie. It's called School Days, and your mom and grandma would know this. So in the opening scene of School Days, which is a fictional black college, the first homecoming game, which was represented by the star of the movie, they opened up the opening drive just like North Carolina did. Came out, Jacks, and they scored on the first drive against the team, and everybody was excited. So the way the game opened up for North Carolina, you thought North Carolina was going to come out and run away with that game the way they opened up that first drive, didn't you? And then to go 2 hours, Jacks, 2 hours without getting a first down, completing a pass. That was crazy, man. They looked disheveled, unprepared. They looked lost. They look afraid. And you would have thought that they had a coach that was coaching football for the very first time in his life the way they showed up. How do you explain that, Jax?
I can't save Bill Belichick no more. He should have just stayed with the NFL. I think he could have been like a coordinator and didn't have to be a head coach.
He should have retired.
Yeah, he should have just retired.
He
He's
should have just
73.
retired, man. He could have kept his dignity, his self-respect, but now he's exposed. So now, like a lot of people are saying, hey, man, once Tom Brady left, Bill Belichick has been a 30-game under 500 coach. You hear me? No playoffs. His record.
They made the playoffs one time. The Patriots made the playoffs.
One time. Pull up his record. He only lost like 75 games in 15 years with Tom Brady. Since Tom Brady's lost, he's lost over 104 games and has only won like 84. In his last 3 campaigns, his last 3 seasons, man, he was abysmal. So it's starting to look like all this time he was a fugazi and Tom Brady was better than advertised. Think about it.
It says in the regular season, Bill Belichick's record with Tom Brady was 219-64, and a postseason record of 30-11.
What does it say for his record post-Brady era? He only lost 64 games with Tom Brady. How many games and how many dubs did he get post-Brady? It's terrible. It's so bad you can't even find it.
Bill Belichick without Tom Brady is 26-30 and only making the playoffs one time.
26-30? Nah, his record is worse than that without Tom Brady.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse than that, buddy. Look at his last
Says
3
Bill
seasons.
Belichick has a 26-30 record with the New England Patriots since Tom Brady left the team after the 2019 season, including a playoff loss in 2021. His record during that period was 29-38, including playoffs, but this does not count his prior years coaching the Patriots without Brady as the primary starter.
The New England Patriots have played 107 games without Tom Brady. Yeah, 28-36. And if you look at his record before, because he used to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Did you know that? He stunk up the joint. Did you know that?
I didn't know it, but I remember hearing it from somewhere.
Yeah, look that up. Look up what Bill Belichick's record was with the Cleveland Browns. He stunk up the joint. The New York Jets, head coach of the Cleveland Browns from 1991 to 1995. Look what his record.
36-44.
What was his record?
36-44.
36-44. Now add up the totals without Brady and the Patriots, and what does that give you? So you said he had 36
36 wins with the Browns.
How
And
many losses?
then 44.
Okay, 44 losses. How many losses did he have post Brady with the Patriots?
30.
Only 30? You sure?
That's what it said.
So he has 74 losses without Brady in those 2 campaigns. So he was with the Browns from 91 to 95, and he was with the Patriots, what, 4 years after Brady? So 8 years. 8 years, he lost more games than he lost with 15 with Brady at the helm. So who really is responsible for all those Super Bowls and AFC championships? Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? That's the
Tom
question.
Brady, the GOAT.
Isn't that something? So I don't see Bill Belichick at the helm of the North Carolina Tar Heels after the 2027 campaign. Because think about this. If you are a young prospect, Jax, and you just saw the embarrassment that happened with the Tar Heels and Bill Belichick, are you desiring to go play for the Tar Heels, who is not a football factory school in the first place?
No.
Now, in the world of the NIL, maybe he gives you more money. Maybe you go there just for the money. What do you think? Now, mind you, you and I talked about this before. You know, do you have the love of the game or do you have the love of the money? You said you have the love of the game. So I don't think someone like you with your character that you would go to that school if they paid you a couple of more dollars than going to a school that you can build a legacy and win championships. So if Michigan came knocking on the door and they were only able to offer you 1 million in NIL money, but Bill Belichick came knocking on the door and he offered you 4 million. Where are you going?
Michigan.
Why are you going to Michigan?
because that's my dream school, and I love that team. Also from there.
Also, think about this. This is something else that they clown Bill Belichick. They said, now we used to tolerate his overly disciplined, can't do nothing, have no fun Bill because we were winning championships. So why would I go to North Carolina? We're not going to win. We're going to get embarrassed, and I'm not going to have any fun as a young college student. What's the attractiveness of that? And my head coach, I got to compete against him trying to date the young girls. Ain't that something? So now, with that said, what are you looking forward to tomorrow, baby? It's football, baby. Let's talk some NFL.
Um, one thing that I want to see from this year is this NFL season. Who's going to be this year's 2024-2025 Commanders?
Oh, so you want to know who's coming out of nowhere and show up from last to first? Who do you
And
think
I
the
have two
possible
teams.
candidates are? What are the two teams?
Number one, I have the Patriots. I think getting Mike Vrabel as their head coach is definitely going to boost that up. Also, I think second place in that division is wide open. The Jets are probably going to be last, and the Dolphins, Tua just can't stay healthy. Also, Drake May should improve. I love the way Drake May plays. Um, Also, they got Stephon Diggs, so now they have a number one receiver. They fixed up the O line a little bit with Will Campbell, and they signed a couple guys on their defense, like Carlton Davis from the Lions. So they should be pretty good.
So are you predicting that they're going to sniff the playoffs, or they just going to have a
I
above
think
500 team?
above 500, and I think they're gonna barely miss out on the playoffs.
Okay. But so that wouldn't be a Washington Commandos turnout because Washington Commandos came from nowhere and went to the NFC Championship game.
Well, no team is doing that this year,
All right,
especially with
man.
the teams on each
Hey,
side.
hey, man, this is the NFL. The NFL always has some Cinderella team come out of nowhere and be better than advertised and surprise a lot of people.
Also, the second team I have being this year's Commanders is your team, the Bears.
You think the Bears are really going to show up?
I think the Vikings are going to be last in the division. I think y'all are going to be third, but y'all are going to go like 9-8, 8 or 9.
So who's going to win the NFC North? Without bias, who do you think is
I
going to
don't
win?
know anymore. I
Oh,
don't
well, I
know
mean,
anymore.
based on what they predicting with, Micah Parsons going to make that impact and they playing for wins right now, you have to put your money on the Packers, wouldn't you?
Um, I I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be a very competitive NFC North. I'm looking forward to that. I believe that the Bears are going to have a better season. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough tape of Caleb Williams, you know, being that different. Now he did his last preseason game. He looked pretty sharp. He cut all that running around stuff, but I don't know if he's not going to go back to default to those habits. You know what I mean? It's hard to all of a sudden get rid of bad habits that you've had for 10 years. So to have him restricted and stay in the pocket and just read his progressions quickly and get the ball out of his hand, That's one of the reasons why he got sacked a lot. But if he's able to do that and consistently stay in that position, yeah, I would agree with you. I think the Bears can have a good season. I'm not sure unless they get on a roll and they have a soft out of division, schedule. Maybe they might sniff the playoffs. But I gotta believe who's going to be this year's Washington Commandos.
I don't think anybody's gonna match what the Commanders did last year.
Well, I mean, if they come out and make it to the playoffs and win one game from last, to me, that would be an impressive turnaround. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that the Houston Texans are going to make it to the AFC Championship game this year.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going out on a limb. You heard it here first. The Houston Texans in the AFC Championship game.
That's not happening.
I think that it's going to all come together. CJ Stroud is going to get back to CJ Stroud. Our defense is spectacular. And we've added a couple of nice little pieces on the offensive side of the ball. That's if Mixon is okay after rehabilitating his injury and he can come back quicker and get on the field in 5 to 6 games. Because Chubb can carry the rock for a few games, but that defense, you know what? Let me take that back. I think we're going to see a surprise in Pittsburgh. You know why? If Pittsburgh lays an egg, Mike Tomlin days are over. I think Aaron Rodgers will have a renaissance because everything is under the radar. I don't think people are expecting much over at Pittsburgh other than them being above 500 and, backing into the playoffs like they've done for the last 5 seasons and one and done. I think that's the team to keep our eyes on.
Yeah, I think the Steelers are gonna be good. I think adding Jalen Ramsey is good, but I would rather have Minka because he's younger.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think the aspect of them having stability at quarterback, they took care of TJ Watt. They just extended that fresh leg running back that they have. Did you see that? They just literally extended him 2 days ago. And they got rid of Najee Harris, who was a bum.
What?
I think, oh yeah, man, Najee Harris was a bum,
He was
man.
he was a bum.
He was a bum, man. He was big, he was slow, he was methodical. He couldn't explode through a hole. He had no breakaway speed. He couldn't cut on a dime. No, man. He's not Derrick Henry, brother. The young back that they got that's explosive, he's got some twitch muscles. He can cut on a dime. He got some good jump cuts, and he explodes through that A gap. I think them signing him to an early extension was a smart move because that's telling him, hey, man, you're the guy. You're the guy. We also got Aaron Rodgers. He can throw them quick, sharp screen passes. He can throw the ball on the dime, and we got a defense that's going to be re-energized with the package that Aaron Rodgers is going to bring together. Now, the only challenge is, will the offensive coordinator, I think Arthur Smith is still over in Pittsburgh, take care of business and let Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers is not too long in the tooth. But if we get a glimpse of Aaron Rodgers the way he was at the end of the season last year, and he comes out and starts the beginning of the year, I think Pittsburgh might be a sleeper. Think about it.
Also, what I was gonna say, they also got Jonnu Smith in that package, who was a Pro Bowl tight end last year.
Okay.
So I don't know why they got him because they already have Pat Fryermuth, but they got rid of George Pickens, but
Yep.
they got DK Metcalf.
Addition by subtraction. They got rid of a headache. And they brought in somebody who's going to work harder. They paid him, so he's happy. He's the clear number one, and he's not going to be a diva whining and complaining about getting a rock with a Hall of Fame quarterback.
So I think the Steelers will be good. I think they're going to be second in their division behind the Ravens.
I think another team that you have to watch out for, just because of great coaching and great management, San Diego Chargers. Because Jim
Los
Harbaugh
Angeles.
is a winner. Jim Harbaugh turns programs around every place he's been. Every place Jim Harbaugh has been, he has turned them from worst to first. So we're working on campaign number 2 with him under the helm. I'm not big on Justin Herbert, but man, don't bet against Jim Harbaugh. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what? What's the receiver? Came back to San Diego. Keenan, what's his name? Keenan, that was with the
Keenan
Bears.
Allen.
He came back to San Diego for a reason. Watch out for the Chargers because Jim Harbaugh always has his teams prepared and ready to play. I think what you're going to find is that a team that everybody expects more out of, Kansas City is not going to be the Kansas City that people expect them to be. I mean, they're not going to be the lead dog.
Kansas City, I think, is going like 11-6 this year.
I wouldn't disagree with that. But far as anybody being afraid of them,
They
getting by
gotta
on their
play the
laurels,
Broncos twice and the Chargers twice.
that was last year. This is a new campaign. You understand what I'm saying?
So they might fall one game each to those teams.
And yeah, oh, absolutely. Split big time. And another thing is, you're not going to Andy Reid out coach those two coaches across the field. You're not going to out coach Jim Harbaugh. You're not going to out coach Sean Payton, which Andy Reid has had a competitive advantage in that area. Another team, if the old man back can sustain itself, is the Rams. I think you have to look out for the Rams. If Matthew Stafford can stay healthy and stay upright, I think you might have a problem over there with the Rams. What do you think?
If he's healthy.
Well, yeah,
But
that's
they
the
got a
question.
way harder schedule than us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And everything's leaning on, is he healthy? Or if he's not, they're in trouble. Because who do they have backing him up?
Stinson Bennett.
Good luck with that. I think another team that will pleasantly surprise people, because again, management and leadership, the Raiders. I don't expect much from the Raiders, but what I do expect, Jax, they'll be competitive. They'll be in a lot of games, a lot of close games, because Pete Carroll is a great coach. And Pete Carroll is a great motivator. And guys love playing for Pete Carroll. He's a player's coach. So he has a couple of pieces in Geno from Seattle that he knows and gave them a chance to get back in the league and get back on top. So they're going to play hard for Pete Carroll. So for me, I think those are some of the teams that we should keep our eyes on in terms of, surprising people in this 2025-26 campaign in this NFL season. So I'm excited, man. Tomorrow night, Cowboys versus Eagles. It's going to be a great game. Then you got Friday night.
The Cowboys about to kill him. I mean, the Eagles about to kill him.
Then you have Friday night. Then you have Sunday, baby. And then before I get out of here, Monday Night Football, baby. Bears. The Bears. The Bears. Gonna put it on the Minnesota Vikings, baby.
Good game.
That's right. So before I get out of here and head to Zanzibar on Tuesday, I'm going to be able to hop on that plane with a big fat cigar because the Bears would have won on Monday Night Football. You heard it here first, baby. The Bears. The Bears, baby. So what do we look forward to? Our next campaign, we're probably won't be on the air until the following week because I'll have to get my time schedule adjusted, Jax. So we'll probably come on the air on the 17th of September because I will be in transit next week heading across the world to the beautiful paradise called Zanzibar. So what do we look forward to? What are your predictions?
I already made my predictions. What was the game that we were looking forward the most for week 1? Was it? I think it's
week
Ravens
1 is
Bills. It's Ravens Bills.
Let me go back to the sheet. Let me pull it up. All right. You didn't come over here and steal the sheet so I can keep score. Let me see here. What's going on here? Yeah, I think we were looking at game 1. Are the Ravens playing the Bills game 1?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, for some reason, man, I can't find my list. See here. Yeah. What's going on here? Whoa. What's going on here? Can't find my list, Jax. So that's the game. That's the game of the week. Wait a minute. Let me see. Here we go. All right, I found it. Yep. The game of the week. I picked the Ravens. You picked the Bills.
It's in Buffalo?
In Buffalo. That's correct. Oh, you know what we have to do to close out the show? We have to predict our Super Bowl team because we have to do it before the season starts tomorrow. So let's pick the conference champions and the division champions so we can hold ourselves accountable. So let's start with the NFC North. Who's coming out as the division champion for the NFC North? So we can put this on record.
Give me the Lions at 12-5 and the Packers going 12-5 also.
Yeah, man, you are such a homer. Every time we talk about some team that you like, you always, hey man, you got to be unbiased, homie.
I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased.
Okay, so NFC North, you're giving that to the Lions. With the Packers tie record and Detroit's going to win the tiebreaker? Okay.
Yeah.
NFC South. Who do you have coming out of the NFC South?
The Buccaneers.
Oh, man. Was that not an easy choice?
With the Falcons coming behind them.
You know what? Just to be contrarian to you, I'm going to pick the Falcons because I like the fact that they have a black head coach and a black quarterback. So I'm going with the Falcons and the NFC.
The Buccaneers got Todd Bowles. He a black coach.
Yeah, but you know what? Todd Bowles, I'm not big on Todd Bowles. He's just a defensive head coach. I like my man Raheem. Radio Raheem. That's my man. So I'm going with Radio Raheem. So for the NFC North, I hate to say this. I'm going to go with the Packers in the NFC North. All right. So NFC South, NFC North. Who are we going with in the number one conference in the NFC? It's the NFC East. Who are you picking? Who's your
Eagles
team?
with the Commanders behind them.
You going with the Eagles?
Yep, with the Commanders behind them.
Okay. I'm going with the Commanders. As I call them, the Washington Redskins. So you're taking the Eagles to repeat. I'm going with the Redskins.
Repeat the
All right.
division.
Yep. I'm going with the Redskins to win the division. All right, so the NFC East. Now, with that saying, let's jump over to the AFC.
Wait. NFC West.
Oh, right. The NFC West. Who do you have in the NFC West?
Seahawks.
Come on,
We
man.
have the easiest schedule.
Come, Jax, come on, man.
We have the easiest schedule.
How many times you gonna be biased, man?
The Niners are bad.
Come on, man. Jax, come on, man.
Watch. We gonna show you.
You gonna pick the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm not even gonna say nothing.
All right, man. All right. The homer over there. So all I gotta do now, whatever team that you love, I'm just putting them at the top of every choice that you make. I'm not even asking you anymore, man.
I'm not being biased at all. I'm saying what I think.
Look, I got on my Bears stuff, my Chicago stuff, NFC North. I did not say the Bears. The Bears are better than the Seahawks, and you gonna sit up here on the platform and you gonna pick the Seahawks.
What did you just say?
You heard me.
What did you say?
Let's put a gentleman bet on it. The Bears will have a better record than the Seahawks.
You're funny.
You taking that bet?
You're funny. Yes, I'm definitely any day of the week.
You gonna have make sure you have my dinner ready. Make sure you have my dinner ready.
Hey, watch that 49ers game.
Just to let you know, my birthday's in December. Right, the last week of the year, when the playoffs have been determined, and I'm gonna expect from you what I call the King's Meal. You wanna know what the King's Meal is? When the Bears have a better record than the Seahawks? So write this down so you can get my King's Meal ready. You ready?
You don't write it down because it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be lobster, king crab legs, prawns, sweet potato, and then you have to have grandma get me my favorite beer because you can't be involved with that. But that's what you're going to have for me when the Bears have a better record than the Seahawks come December 31st, 2025. You hear me now?
It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen. All right. So you're going with the Seahawks. Are you kidding me, man? I'm going
with who do you have?
I got the Rams.
All right.
I got the Rams.
Matthew Stafford's 35-year-old back.
I got the Rams.
Go ahead, write it down.
I got the Rams followed by the San Francisco Niners.
So you have us third.
Absolutely.
Come on, bro. Come
Absolutely. Now, with that said, the wild card. So you have Detroit, Packers. Let's pick our playoff teams. Who's
As the
coming?
1 seed, the Eagles, the 2 seed.
So it's eight teams. So you have the
7.
Eagles.
It's 7.
It's 7.
Yeah. 8 is
Okay.
for the NBA.
All right. So you have the Eagles.
All right. I got the Eagles, the 1 seed. I got the Lions, the 2 seed. I have the I have the Bucks, the 3 seed, and I have us at the 4 seed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you
Are
heard
you
it. You heard me.
are you kidding me?
Hey, watch. If you win your division, you're a top 4 seed.
I think they changed the rules this year.
No, they didn't.
Let's go check. Let's go check. So with that said,
At the
for
5, give
me,
me
it's gonna be the Redskins. It's
as
gonna
the
be the
1 seed.
Packers. The Packers at number 2. It's gonna be the Falcons at number 3. And at number 4, the Eagles.
You get
In the
okay.
NFC Championship game, I'm going with repeat Eagles versus the Redskins. Who you got in the NFC Championship game?
For the NFC Championship game, um,
Who you got? Come on, Homer. You know you're a Homer. You know you want to say the Lions. Go ahead. The Lions versus who?
the NFC Championship,
The Lions versus who?
give me the Eagles.
The Eagles versus the Lions?
Give me the Eagles versus. Give me the
Come on, man. You know Eagles versus the Lions. You're a Homer.
Eagles versus Commanders or Eagles
No,
versus
no,
Lions.
no, no. We're not gonna do that. You picking one team. There ain't no and or.
Okay, Eagles versus Lions then.
All right, then. Stand on it. Stand 10 toes down, young man. 10 toes down. All right? So, with that said, who's representing the NFC in the Super Bowl 60 this year?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Woo! Wow, you don't pick your Lions? All right. We got the Eagles. All right. So, for me, I got to be contrarian and I got to go with the Redskins. Redskins as the NFC champions. Redskins. All right, now let's flip it over to the AFC.
All right.
AFC East. Who you got?
Who is in the East?
Miami, New England,
Oh,
Buffalo,
oh, oh.
the Jets.
Give
This
me
is
the
a
Bills
yes. I'm taking the
first
Bills as well.
and give me the Patriots second.
I'm taking the Bills and Miami. I don't believe in the Patriots. I'm not a big Vrabel fan. He's not bad, but he's not all that hype. He didn't do but one game to the NFC, AFC Championship with the Titans and didn't do much after that. So the AFC, I'm going with the Bills and Miami, and you're going with the Bills and the Pats. Okay. AFC North, the best division in football. Who you got? Do I need to tell
The
you who's in
Ravens
that division?
as the Ravens first and the Steelers second.
Okay. You have no arguments there, except I have to tell you I don't want to pick them, but I'm going Ravens and Bengals.
Didn't you just say the Steelers were gonna make the AFC Championship game?
I didn't. I
Now
said
you're
it's.
saying they third.
I said I wouldn't be surprised. I said I wouldn't be surprised. Did you hear me, young man? I said I wouldn't be surprised. I said keep an eye on them if everything lines up. Did you hear me? I said if Aaron Rodgers could become a Renaissance man and relive his heyday, and the defense plays like they normally play. Because if not, I said most likely Tomlin is going to play his last year in Pittsburgh. No, I'm not going to put my money on Pittsburgh to win the division. No, I'm not. Do I need to say anything else about that?
No.
All right. AFC South, who you have?
Give me the Texans. And number 2, give me the Jags.
Wow, you going with the Jags? Okay.
At number 2.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty weak division. Of course, I'm taking the Texans. I'm gonna go with Indy.
With Daniel Jones as a starting QB?
Yep. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs because there's only going to be only one playoff team coming out of the AFC South, and that's the Texans. I'm just picking the 1 and 2 because you're doing it. All right. So, with that said, last but not least, AFC West. We know who you're picking because you're already overhyped. So, let me just put down Seattle for you. Is that correct?
What?
The AFC West.
The AFC West is not the
what I'm talking
it's
about?
not
My
Seattle's
bad.
division.
Seattle's in the NFC West. All right. So the AFC West, who you have?
Who's in that division again?
Denver.
Oh, the Chiefs division.
Chargers.
All right.
Raiders.
Give me the
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
1. Actually, give me the Chiefs time with the Broncos. Give me the
Pick
Chiefs
one.
time. They're gonna both go 11 and 6. So I guess whoever wins, we'll just go with the Chiefs first.
Okay. So
Denver second, Los Angeles third.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I'm going with the Chargers and the Chiefs. All right. Who's in the conference for the AFC? Who's in the conference championship game?
Give me the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Against who?
And they'll be taking on. They will be going against the Baltimore Ravens.
You know what? I couldn't disagree with you, brother. I couldn't disagree with you. You know why? It's do or die for both of those teams. It's do or die for both of those teams. They have the last 3 MVPs. They both have never gotten by Kansas City. And now one of those two have to go to the Super Bowl or them coaches are going to be out of there and their legacy is in trouble. So I got to agree with you. I'm going with the Bills versus the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. And I'm saying it's do or die for Action Jackson. So I have to pick by default Ravens in the Super Bowl. What's your pick?
I'm also going with the Ravens in the Super. Actually, no, I am not. I got the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. Your pick, Bills. So, with that said, we have Eagles versus the Bills for Jax in the Super Bowl. And for me, we have the Ravens. Who did I pick?
Commanders.
Versus the Redskins. All right. So, Ravens versus Redskins. And I am picking the Ravens to win it all. What's your pick?
I am picking.
You got the Bills versus the Eagles. So you either got a repeat.
I'm picking. Super Bowl 60, Super Bowl champions. The Eagles.
All right. You heard it here, folks. So let me give a repeat. Let's just run it down. We're going to close out the show on this. So for the NFC North, Jax has Detroit and the Packers tied with the Lions winning the tiebreaker to win the division. The NFC South, he has the Bucks. The NFC East, he has the Eagles. The NFC West, he has, no surprise, the Seahawks. So for me, NFC North, I hate to say it because I can't stand the Packers, but I have the Packers. The NFC East, I have the Redskins. The NFC South, I have the Falcons. In the NFC West, I have the Rams. In the conference game, Jax has the Eagles versus the Lions. And I have the Eagles versus the Redskins. And winning the NFC Championship, I have the Redskins. Let's flip over to the AFC. Jax has the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Chiefs. I have the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Chargers. And in the AFC Championship game, we both have the Bills versus the Ravens. And Jax has the Bills winning the AFC Championship. So he's chosen the Bills versus the Eagles and the Eagles in a repeat. And I chose the Ravens versus the Redskins and Lamar Action Jackson winning his first Super Bowl for Super Bowl 60. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, you obviously been watching the fourth amazing edition of Dropping Dimes and Stats with DJ and Jax. And we're back to school, Jax. Welcome back to school, buddy. So the next time you see me, folks, I will be in paradise called Zanzibar, enjoying the beautiful white sand beaches and the pom-pom lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind. We thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share this message. And we wish you all a great NFL kickoff, because are you ready for some football? The Bears.
12 man.
That's right, baby. We see you next time. We're blowing out everything. We're going to give you a master training, 3-hour course, 2 consultations. We're going to teach you how to build credit up to $100,000 interest-free for 18 months. Pay off your home in 7 to 10 years. And most importantly, create $8,333 a month. Passive income. It's a $997 course. You get it all today for $97. Hit that link and beat me to the master training.
Thinking out the box from where I stay. Am I wrong for saying that I choose to I ain't trying to do what everybody else doing, just cause everybody doing what they all do. If one thing I know, I fall but I grow. I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I call home. So am I wrong, thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? But that's just how I feel. But that's just how I feel.